So today you're going to learn about using arithmetic sequences using next now. So I can take an arithmetic sequence and write it recursively using next now notation. The reason we do this with you guys is because the EOC uses a lot of next now. So for those of you that might have taken Algebra 1 last year, maybe this next now stuff is going to seem familiar to you. And it relates to the recursive formula you guys learned yesterday. So remember, the recursive formula was a sub 1 equals a number, and then a sub n equals the previous term plus the common difference. So next now uses that same kind of concept in order to get to your other points. So in the recursive formula, remember you need the previous term to find the next term, so you use the previous term and add the common difference. So use the previous term and add the common difference. So we're going to look at some examples here, and like I said, hopefully you'll have time to work on your homework. I see some of you put your boxes around them too, so don't forget the only things we replaced were here and here. November 4th. That's the same day of the test too. So next Friday is your test. That's when the study guide is due. All right, let's look at the first slide then. So now represents your starting point, what you are currently using, your current point, okay? Whereas next is the following term after that previous term. So where are we starting at? What point are we starting at, Jacqueline, in that first one? 8. What is happening in your own words to get to the next term, Sarah? So subtract 3. So in next now formula, you're going to take to get to the next term, it's going to equal the term you're on. That's the now term. And what are we doing with the now term to get to the next term? Sarah just told us. What are we doing to get to the next term? You take whatever you're on now and subtract 3. So if I'm on 8 and I subtract 3, I get 5, which is my next term. If I'm on 5 and subtract 3, I get 2, which is my next term. That's what that's saying. And then I'm going to rewrite the formula again on my page. You guys might already have it, but since mine doesn't have it every single time, I'm going to rewrite the recursive formula up here because we're going to rewrite it as a recursive here. So that's when it's saying the arithmetic sequence, it's saying use the recursive formula. So Alex, what is my recursive formula then for this problem? So remember, we're using this formula. So a sub 1 equals what? Okay, and then what happens after that? The only things we replace are the dm. No, minus. That doesn't change. And then what's the common difference? You're not, no, the common difference. What are you doing each time? You're subtracting 3, so it should be minus 3. So these two things are related. It's telling you the same thing. This one is saying you start at the term 8 and you subtract 3 each time. They're literally saying the same thing. This is like your next now. This is your next. This is your now. Subtract 3. Right? So they're basically the same formula. So Vivian, the next one there, what am I starting on?
5.
We are starting on 5. So Madison, what is happening each time? Add 6. Mackenzie, what's my next now formula? And Kaylin, what is the arithmetic sequence formula?
A sub 1 equals 5, and then A and equals A minus 1 plus 6.
Perfect. We're kind of just replacing the next with a sub n and the now with a sub n minus 1, but we just have to add that first term in there, so it's not a huge difference. All right, Morgan, last one there. Starting term is?
I'm sorry.
You're fine. Do not apologize. Sarah, what do I do each time?
You subtract 5.
Carly, next now.
Next equals now minus.
Spencer, the recursive formula.
A sub n equals 7,
Good.
and a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 minus 5.
Good. So what questions do we have so far? All right. Yeah.
For the A sub n minus 1, you always have to write that as below.
Yeah, because it's a subscript. Yeah. So it's below because it's below it, like it's the subscript, because we have multiple A's in our problem. So that's why they have to have a subscript, because these A's mean different things. Any other questions? All right. Term number is 1, and there's 2 coins. Term number is 2, and there's 5 coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 is 8, 4 is 11, and 5 is 14. Jacqueline, fill in the rest of that chart. What comes after the 14 then? And then what? Good.
Yeah, I told you.
We've already lost. We don't have red. Vivian, what is the pattern? So complete the statement then. Hannah, next equals? Now plus 3. Very good. All right, let's look at the next one. Alexis, help me finish this chart, okay? The first term has 3 sides. I think it's the sides of the triangles that we're looking at. So sides is what I'm assuming it is. Not sides of the triangle, just sides in general. 1, 2, 3. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this one has 1. I have no clue what it's counting here. 2. It must be the sides of the triangles that are outside of it. Okay, so the outside triangles. So how many would there be at term 4?
6,
And then?
7.
Very good. Alvin, what is the pattern? Add 1. Katie, next equals?
Now plus 1.
Very good. Okay, what questions do you guys have about those examples? All right, go ahead and get that written in, and when you're ready, flip to the next slide, and we'll talk about the next one there. There's a matching one. Okay, Olivia, what we're going to do here is write the actual next now formula next to each of these instead of just matching them. So what's happening each time here?
Adding 1.
Adding 1. So next would equal what then?
1.
What?
Next equals now plus 1.
So which one is next equals now plus 1 then?
B.
B. So this one goes with B. Very good. Alexis, what's happening each time with the second one there? What's happening to get from -3 to -6? Subtracting 3 each time. So what would next equal? Next equals, which is which one? Which is D. Good. Okay, Morgan, what's happening each time with the third one there? We're subtracting 2, so next equals what? Next equals what? Now minus 2. The term we're on, minus 2, which is what? Good. So here's my question. Does the fourth one and now plus 7 make sense? Are we adding 7 each time? So did we do a good job there? Good job, guys. All right. Oops, sorry, Alex. What questions do you guys have about that one? Will you be able to do that one on your own? All right, then. Jenny, let's start on the next slide here. It says find the next 3 terms using the following next now statement. So it says to find the next term, you take the current term you're on, the now term, and subtract 4. So what would the next 3 terms be?
14.
Good. Good. So all she did was subtract 4 each time. Okay, Jacqueline. The next term equals the term you're on, the now term, plus 10. So what are the next 3 then? Good. And so she just added 10 each time. Kelly. Next equals the current term you're on minus 5. So what would the next term be?
43.
Good.
And then 38.
Good.
And then 32.
Good. So she took it and subtracted 5 each time. Hannah, go ahead and do the last one there for me.
22, 25, 28.
And so she just added 3 each time. So what questions do you guys have so far? Like I said, I'm really hoping that you have enough time to finish the homework so you guys don't have a ton to do over the weekend. So what questions do we have before we get on to the next slide? You know, it's normal. Like, whenever I give you notes, I don't give you a random homework assignment. It would be really terrible if I did.
Yeah.
I know, we should have done it before that, but we wanted you guys to have, like, less homework over the break, so we figured we'd just flip-flop it this year for you guys since it landed right before break, because we were trying to make sure you guys didn't have homework and trying to get it done in class. Write an equation using next now to represent the following table of values. So it's the term you're on, and the pattern is what's going to be existing there. So, Mackenzie, what is the pattern that's existing? Plus 3 each time. So you add 3. So Mackenzie, what is my next now formula then? Perfect. Alex, what's happening with that second table there? Oops. So what's my next now formula? Good. What questions do you have there before we do the very last slide? I give you the last 20-ish minutes to do homework. Anything? Okay. So the last ones you're going to do, and these are more like what you'll see on the EOC because they're multiple choice, and a good portion of your EOC grade is multiple choice. There is the performance event day, but the good portion of it is multiple choice. So if your current now is 4, which equation represents this sequence? A, now minus 8. B, now plus 1. C, now plus 4. Or D, now minus 3. Avery. You are adding 4 to get to the next term each time.
Wait, is this supposed to be like a trick question or something?
No. It gets tricky because there are ones that are in tables that use like the explicit formulas that we learned yesterday too. So a lot of times those ones are the ones that kids get wrong because they use the next now type formula instead of using the explicit formula. These are the easier versions. Okay, so if the now is 11, which equation represents this sequence? Now minus 8, now plus 1, now plus 4, or now minus 3? Olivia. D, you're subtracting 3 each time. Very good. All right, do you guys have any questions for me? Okay, then let me get your